Welcome back, guys. I mean, look. Last week, Yarde, Dex Spellman, good fight. Some people say, he's fighting another tomato can.
Nobody,
But you can only beat what's in front of you, right? That's the adage. Put them in front of me, I'll knock them down. Don't matter who they are. And folks can't say that Yarde doesn't have the cojones, because he's proven with his limited amateur experience and the tomato cans he's been knocking over. He went out to Russia, Chelyabinsk, by the way. He didn't even go out into like mainland Russia. Man went out to some village in Russia, had his luggage and whatnot taken from man. They've tried to probably poison a man with different bottles of water and whatnot, like all these mind games you had to deal with. You step into the ring and he was just a few seconds out.
He was losing the fight.
Seconds out. Look, on points he was never going to win. I don't care how well he would have boxed.
It's Russia, man.
It's Russia.
Yeah.
They were always going to pick their guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he had to go for the KO, and he was almost there. Now, it leads into this whole Yarde vs Buatsi. First, I'm going to ask you, Rich, who is the A side to that fight?
Yarde is the A side.
Why'd you say that?
I think because I'm coming from the boxing community perspective, Buatsi's still a bit green. He's still a bit young. He's still seen as the Olympic kid.
They're like the same age.
Still. But my point is that from the boxing community perspective, probably I'm not thinking about it from the outside world perspective. I can only see it with my boxing community lens. And my lens is that I hear a lot more about Yarde. Yarde's been a lot more active, even though, granted, he's only fought, twice in the last year since he fought.
That's right.
But Buatsi's fought no times.
He hasn't fought this calendar year.
Buatsi's only fought 10 times, 11 times actually, as a matter of fact. He's 10-0. I just feel like, for once, Eddie might have to consider that he hasn't pushed Buatsi the way he has to. Maybe one, because Buatsi's a quiet kid. He's not the like shining.
Like, oh, come on, give me a fight.
But everyone actually respects Buatsi because he's Buatsi. He's just a quiet gentleman, and that plays for him. But he also, but they also see him as the cerebral killer as well.
Both Yarde and Buatsi are gentlemen.
They're both. But the thing about Yarde is that there's side about, maybe it's because it's Tunde Ajayi.
It's Tunde who does all the extra stuff. He does all the extra stuff. But when you hear Yarde talk, he just talks like very objectively. Talks from even sometimes.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah, he talks from a fan's perspective and talks from a perspective of a boxer. And he's just like, look, we'll get it done. It's not like we're hiding from anybody.
And they met each other at the O2 one time.
That's right.
Took a picture and everyone was like, yeah.
And it should, I honestly think it should be like that. Like, look, it's just business, bro.
But can I just say something? I'm a Buatsi fan. But I suspect that if Yarde connects with that right hand, sir, it could be nice. And because Buatsi's defense is, as I saw in one of the comments, suspicious. He actually doesn't have any head movement.
But you know what? They're both suspicious. But I would say this. Buatsi only looks suspicious because he hasn't been put there with anybody he can actually respect.
Well, the last fighter you could respect, what was his name? It was the Spanish guy or the Mexican fighter. He's an old timer, but he fought, and he actually took Buatsi to free. In fact, I thought Buatsi, did he win that fight, or was it a home?
I think they gave it to him.
They gave it to him.
They gave it to him.
I forgot Buatsi had to work for that fight.
It was a
strange. He knocked him down once, but the guy gave him a good round. I forgot his name. You're making me want to check Boxing Rec just to double check it.
Go for it. Let's see what's there.
Let me go through Boxing Rec.
It was a bit of a strange one. I mean, like
it was Boxing Rec.
For me, I feel like Buatsi. Look, he's a smooth operator. I like him as a fighter. I like both of these guys as fighters. Yeah. I feel like it's too soon for us to have that meet. I feel like it needs to play out a bit longer. I feel like they still need to get rounds in with, stiffer opposition and possibly have a belt on the line. I wouldn't want to see this without a belt.
His name was Periban. Actually, he won by TKO. It was Marko Antonio Periban. But Periban's he was good. I think his record was 25-4-1.
That's not bad.
4 losses, 1 draw. But Periban's respected in and around. I think, but he was a veteran at this stage.
Yeah.
But he gave him a good test, and I did think, Buatsi, have you got the power? He's very calculated with the punches.
He's not got Yarde's power.
Definitely got
That's
Yarde's
that's not debatable. It's gonna come down to who has done the best research in terms of tactics and whose tactics actually play out the best on the night.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is, because I think Yarde is like, if I catch you once, I'm gonna like daze you. I hit you a second time, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Buatsi is more like it's a slow death.
Yeah.
I will catch you, but you'll die like just slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a cerebral assassin,
Yeah.
man. The thing is, Buatsi's got quick feet, but not much head movement, and that's just from the last few fights I've tried to analyse. He's got to work on his head movement, but you know what? There's room to grow. Sometimes it takes a
10
fight
fights
to
in.
show you. I mean, look at Joshua's fight. No one saw Joshua moving. I still, to this day, consider Joshua Ruiz to a masterclass. Not running around.
It was a good
masterclass.
boxing. It was a
a boxing masterclass.
Yeah, it was.
From someone that has 6 months to change his game around. Look, this isn't about Joshua.
But you know, I
he's
don't
an understudy
think
of Joshua.
People say, like you just said, he had 6 months to change his game around. Joshua, let's not forget, this guy's got good amateur experience.
Yes, he has.
And he's an Olympian.
And he got too muscular.
That was all it was.
Yeah.
He could always do that.
Yeah.
Like, think of it, like, Joshua could just get guys out of there, so
Yeah.
he just stuck with that. But he can stick and move.
100%. And you know what? He did it in the first fight with Dylan White, in the only fight with Dylan White. He got wobbled. He spent around 3 to 6.
Catch himself again.
Catch himself, boxing and movement.
Stick and move.
He's a boxer.
He's a boxer.
Simple as that.
We can't argue that.
And Buatsi's a boxer.
And Buatsi is a boxer.
He's a real
And that's what we've got to check with Yarde. Yarde, right now, can we say he's a boxer? Because that's the difference.
It's hard to respect someone that got knocked out by a jab.
No, but he was gassed. He was gassed. Look, bro, like, a wind would have blown, he would have took him out. Like, the wind would have took him out. He was gassed. He put everything in. He was swinging for the hills. I remember there was one, like, he swung and the ropes caught him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, look, he was trying to, like, it was a different circumstance.
You know what? I can't criticise
So
the
we
guy.
can't knock him for that fight.
Yeah.
I feel
well,
like...
I can, but I can't criticise him on that fight.
Nah, man, I
did
don't
his
think
best.
he can. He did everything he could do with the circumstances he had, again, with a crowd which was not for him. I feel like if that was overseas over here in the UK, right, the crowd might have picked him up a bit.
Yeah.
Things would have been a bit different.
Yeah.
You're on familiar ground. Your mind wasn't being played with. Like, there was so much going on. Like,
Well, I
it
mean,
wasn't just the boxing.
Do you think that he should have reduced his muscle load?
No, Yarde is Yarde. I think that muscle there is natural Yarde.
Yeah,
That's
because they
not-
said that he doesn't do weights.
He doesn't do weights. Like, that's... I know some people which know Yarde. You know what I'm saying?
He does do weights.
No, he doesn't.
So what does he do?
Man just will just do the pull-ups and all the other stuff. He doesn't pick up weights. He doesn't need to. He's just like, he's born with that, genetics where he looks like the way he looks. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's the same with Buatsi as well. He doesn't do weights. He looks the way he looks. There's some other men which go and pump themselves, like Joshua went and pumped himself up a bit.
Yeah.
But even if he didn't,
Actually, Joshua's natural size is that very slim frame.
that's right. He will still look sculpted. He will still look like an animal. But it is what it is. I feel like people always say, "Oh yeah, too much muscles. Your like oxygen can't get around, so you blow out a lot earlier and all this other stuff." I feel like there is some truth to that. But if that's just what you are, that's what you are. You know what I mean?
It's interesting. I think, look, we're looking forward to the Yarde Buatsi fight. Will it be made in 2021? 2022, I
feel like it needs a bit more time to simmer, and there needs to be a story behind it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I feel like
It's too soon just to throw them in.
Sky Sports, BT.
Yeah, do you know what? BT have made things flipping. Frank Warren has made things flipping complicated. Why would you go and add? I mean, he has to because he wants to make money. But with the BT Sport thing, I'm never gonna buy a BT Sports box office. Never have, never will. I'm gonna stream it all day, every day. Just want BT to know that. I'm Sky all day, man.
Mate, that's the difficult bit. But you know what's crazy? In the UK, across the country, most people are with BT for their internet, etc. So they're already BT customers, and they already then get BT Sports.
So why would they?
You see what I mean? So why would they go to Sky?
But this is the problem. But you know what? Let's hope, because the Tyson Fury and the Joshua fight is they're prepared to work it out. Remember when Joshua faced Klitschko? Actually, that was on your wedding.
Yeah, it was on my wedding day.
I snuck out your wedding to go to the car to listen to BBC Radio 1. I cried that night, you know. I was like, I ordered this on box office and I couldn't watch it. I came to Francis' wedding in some what was the part? It was London.
It was
across the dual carriageway.
Yeah.
It was in a nice venue. Don't get it twisted. But we were far, you know. South London guys. When we go out of South London, it's like raw. Everywhere's country. But yeah, like I remember Joshua's fight with Klitschko, HBO got to show it. Showtime was delayed, and that was always a history. And unfortunately, HBO they've
packed it. Thanks very much for watching our videos. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, which is at Hub Athletes, our Instagram, which is at Hub Athlete, and our YouTube, which is at The Athletes Hub, no apostrophe, for more great content, more discussions, more debates, a lot more to talk about: football, boxing, tennis, athletics. You got it. We're here for you, man. Three guys talking sports.